What's up, Nail Geeks? I'm back again with another collection. I have Femme Fatale's Unrequited Love Collection and the Color of the Month and Fiend of the Month shades to show you guys. The Unrequited Love Collection is an 8-piece set inspired by the painting Boris Abducting Arathia by Joseph Ferdinand Lankernon, and these are inspired by that. Really lovely shades, so let's dive right into it. First up, we've got Arathia. This is going to be 14 Australian on release and is described as a sheer, soft cream white base filled with platinum silver flakes, holographic silver flakes, silver holographic micro glitters, and holographic micro flecks. So this has a crelly-like formula to me. There is a bit of squish on application, and it does dry down quite a bit on the flat side, which is, in my opinion, typical of crellies. So it does have a really nice self-leveling formula to it. I really enjoyed this one. It's not stark white. It is definitely a cream type of soft base. It's really delicate and soft and pretty. I feel like this is one of those wedding type of colors. It's very lovely. And you'll get that nice scattering of those platinum flakes, which are one of my favorite types of finishes in that they give that nice reflective sparkle. Now for opacity on it, I'm going to suggest 3 coats and you'll get really nice coverage with it. And you'll really build up all of those flakes and that shimmer happening. Just a really lovely, soft, but still blingy type of finish. I do feel like for it being more of a neutral type of base color, I still thought it popped very well against myself. So if you have medium to deep skin tones, I would not shy away from this one. And next we have Grotto on release. This one will be 15 Australian. This is described as a molten bright gold linear holographic, and it's got a wonderful formula. So typical of straight up holographic polishes, it does have a bit of a metallic feel on the brush strokes, but it builds up very quickly to opacity. So for that, I'm going to suggest between 2 to 3 coats, depending on how you polish and all that good stuff. I mostly think that most are going to be just fine at 2 coats. So this is really luminous. It has this really straight up liquid gold type of effect across your nails. Now gold is typically one of those colors that I personally somewhat shy away from, as a lot of times with me being very golden, kind of yellowish undertone, they typically wash out on me, but I thought this popped very well against myself. So once again, another shade that if you have medium to deep skin tones, I would not shy away from this one either, as I really liked the way it looked against me. And next we have Boris. This is a gorgeous golden harvest yellow cream base filled with reddish copper flakes. So this one, the base color, I was kind of scratching my head for a second trying to figure out how I was going to describe it. I do feel like the video is being color accurate to what I'm seeing in person. Now please know, again, that's on my monitor. I think the official description for this is really perfect for what it is. It's definitely like a harvest yellow cream. It feels to me like it's like a squash type of goldish color. Really interesting. I almost want to say it's like a very subdued, muted type of mac and cheese type color. It's like squash. It's definitely like a fall type of shade to me. Now on opacity for this, I'm going to suggest 3 coats. It plumps out very nice. It's got a very smooth formula, very creamy like feel on those brush strokes. And you can see here in the final look, you'll get a really nice scattering of those red copper flakes. I do recommend a good glossy top coat for this one just to really maximize that plumping effect. And next we have Chartreuse Shroud. This will be 13 Australian on release. This is described as a bright, almost neonish lime yellow crelly with a very subtle blue sheen and scattered silver holographic micro glitters. So this feels very creamy, very satisfying on those brush strokes. It just pretty much almost applies itself on your coats. Now I'm also going to suggest 3 thin coats on it to build it up and really plump it out, similar to how I applied Boris. And drying time was really wonderful, especially given how rich the formula feels for this. Now I do agree with the official description that the blue shimmer here is subtle. So in shaded light and kind of subdued lighting, you'll see a bit of a bluish type of cast from the shimmer. It's really lovely. Now I do feel like the video is being color accurate again on my monitor for what I'm seeing. This is a true type of chartreuse, so it's got that lovely limey type of feel, but definitely got a bit of a yellow undertone to it as well. Now this type of chartreuse I thought once again popped very well against me. You can see it on this full hand shot here. I thought it was really flattering, so I think, again, if you've got medium to deep skin tones, another one that you might not want to shy away from. And next we've got Flower Thickets. This will be $12.50 Australian on release. So this is described as a smooth olive crelly filled with golden micro glitters in various sizes. Another really flattering fall type of olive toned type of green. So I keep saying fall, but I always have to remind myself that I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, and a lot of these brands are in Australia. So to our Australian friends, I do apologize about that. I definitely try to keep it in mind when I'm describing or saying something's fall or whatnot, but I'm sorry. Now the formula on this again is very creamy, somewhat crelly-like, as it does have a bit of squish on those brush strokes, and for opacity I think 2 to 3 coats will be just fine for most. I personally took it up to 2 coats and I thought it plumped out really nice, and after going in with a glossy top coat, you can see here it's just really popping in opacity and just overall impact, if you will. And next we have Cold North Wind on release. This one will be $13.50 Australian. This is described as a warm brown base with green, blue, purple shift, and silver holographic flakes. This one is gorgeous. It's a lovely, vampy type of shade. It's got a really nice formula to it. You'll see here it's got just super smooth, very dense, jelly-like feel as you're applying it. And for opacity, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. This one's really going to depend on your free edge length. So if you have nails about the length of mine, if not longer, you're definitely going to want to use 3 coats on it. If you're rocking shorties, you could probably get away with 2 coats. But at that 3rd thin coat, I think it just maximizes that shimmer so well. So in indoor and bright lights, that shimmer is going to take on that nice, really foresty type of green that you're seeing in the video. And over at angles, you'll see that nice bluish, purplish shift, especially in shaded lighting too. And of course, you've got those silver holographic flakes. Really nice, dense scatter across your nails. Now this one does dry down very flat, so again, use a good glossy top coat and you'll see that nice plumping effect that you see here on that final shot. And next we have Wrapped in a Cloud. This one will be $14 Australian on release. This is a tri-thermal with blue, green, iridescent glitters and small turquoise glitters. This is another one that has a really lovely crelly-like formula that's very smooth on application. Now, I want to note that in the video, this is coming across very dark, and in person, yes, it is very dark, very vampy. However, in a moment when I show you guys the ice water shot, I really want to point out that in person you can easily see that there are 3 colors to this thermal. So when it's very warm, you'll see a lovely turquoise, and then in the medium kind of warm state, you'll see a purple, and at very cold state, you'll see a lovely, really deep dark blue. And of course, those blue glitters really complement the whole look. For the most part, this thermal was very reactive for me, and it just easily transitioned between the colors very, very well. Now, I had no problems getting those glitters out of the bottle. Per usual, my bottles get a good shake before applying, and again, no problems to report here or anything. I really liked how, in a moment when you guys see the warm state, I thought that the glitters really complemented all 3 states for this one. Now this one also dries down really flat, so again, you're going to want to wear a very glossy top coat to seal everything in. And here on the full hand shot, you can see that nice green turquoisey type of shade for the warm state. And on the video here, I know it's coming across a little subtle, but again, please note in person, you can easily see that there is that turquoise to purple to very dark blue when it's cold. You can kind of see it here, but it's definitely there in person. And next we have Elysius. This is going to be $13 Australian on release, and is described as a murky sea green sheer base with strong blue to purple glass shimmers and an array of silver holographic glitters in various sizes. I love when Femme Fatale does colors like this. A lot of my collection is always combinations like this. There's so much depth. There's a lot of complexity happening. Now for opacity on this one, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats. It does apply very curly like, but it also dries down very, very flat. So you're going to want to use a good glossy top coat to seal this one up. And you can see on the second coat, it just really starts to pop with all that shimmer. The glitters themselves give lots and lots of a larger type of sparkle. There's just a ton going on. Now in our PR information, this did say it has the same formula on Mirror Mirror, which is literally in my top 5 polishes of all time, and I say that with absolute confidence. I love that. So if you enjoyed that one, I actually have 3 bottles of it because I love it so much. If you loved that one, you'll definitely want to pick up this one. And next we have the color of the month for September. This is Pumpkin Patch, which will be $12.50 Australian, and is a dark forest green curly with orange micro glitters in assorted sizes. This one's really fun. It's got a super smooth jelly-like feel on those brush strokes. Once again, really, really satisfying as you are applying. And for opacity, I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 coats. Now I took it up to 3 coats just to really vampen it out, and true to jelly type of formulas, this will definitely get dark as you go up on your coats. So at 3 coats, which is what you'll see here in just a moment, it's almost black like when you build it up. So you can kind of see that it's definitely a very dark forest green on your early coats, but here on that second coat and my third coat, it really darkens out. Now those orange micro glitters are in the small to almost medium variety, so they're very obvious against that base, and they'll give you a really nice glowing type of almost coppery orange sparkle. And here on the full hand shot, again, glossy top coat, I am good to go. Just really lovely. I think this is going to be perfect for Halloween. And finally, we have the Fiend of the Month for September. This is only available to the Facebook group for Femme Fatale, which I'll link below. This is Welkin at Dusk and is described as a teal when warm to deep purple with blue tones when cold, scattered silver holographic micro glitters in various sizes plus holographic particles. I love this one. I'm a blue fan, and if you're a blue fan like myself, or even if blue is something that you shy away from, I still recommend this one. It is stunning in person. The warm state and the cold state are both absolutely gorgeous. They're very flattering shades of blue, and it has a lovely, very smooth jelly-like formula on application. So for opacity, I would suggest between 2 and 3 coats. It plumps out very nicely. Now, true to thermals, it does also dry down quite a bit on the flat side, so finish off with a glossy top coat, which is what you see in this final look here. Just a absolute incredible blue thermal. It's so stinking pretty. And you can see here on the ice water shot, I've got that nice warm state coming out, and that cold state is also stunning too. I love both shades. Really lovely thermal. Now the Unrequited Love Collection, you can grab the full set for $97.65 Australian, which is on sale from $108.50. So basically 10% off during the pre-order, and the others will also be available during this release. All of the pretties in this post will release September 1st at 9 a.m. Australian time through September 5th at 9 p.m. Australian time. This is pretty much the only time you can grab them, so you'll want to get them during the pre-order at Femme Fatale's shop. I'll link that below for you guys. Now, those of us in international areas, typically the Stockist Beautometry carries them. A lot of times they'll do a pre-order too from the brand, and sometimes they'll have overpours. But if you're wanting any of these polishes, I would highly recommend checking out either Beautometry or Femme Fatale during this pre-order. Once again, I'll link you guys below to the Facebook fan group for Femme Fatale, especially if you are wanting to grab this last thermal here, as you'll need to be a member of that group to at least grab this last one. Now, I know this is all information overload, so all of this will be broken down below in the description box, and I'll also link you guys to Beautometry if you want to check that out too. Like I said, that is a known stockist for Femme Fatale. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.